All right, hey, how's it going out there? Part two, and East Coast Comic Con of 2019, whatever it takes. Yeah, nice little wristband I picked up. This, of course, this was after the fact. I discovered these after the con because obviously, if I'd have had these before the con, I would have been handing these out to my bros. At the con. Something I found out when I came back home. Anyways, Batman issue 183, really stoked. Yeah, it's second appearance of Poison Ivy. I also have the actual 182. Yeah, I have the 182, first appearance of Poison Ivy. My lowest grade comic book. I got it signed by Joe Gila as well, but I didn't submit it because it's so banged up. And that'll be in another vid. This one I was really happy with. Again, I want to say this was raw. I believe it was given a grade of about 7 to 7.5 or so. But that's because, let's see, and I got it signed by Joe Gila, and it was fantastic. First time meeting Joe Gila, fantastic gentleman. I was really fortunate. I just feel really fortunate and stoked to have met him, and that was definitely a big, like I say, big perk, a big plus of going out to East Coast Comic Con was Joe Gila on the list. So I had to dig through my old Batman, find anything I had signed by him, because this time I was like, oh, I need to get something, signed by the gentleman and submitted, because he's a legend, just like Joe Sinnott and Larry Hama, George Perez, list goes on. But and the nice thing about the older gentlemen is their penmanship is fantastic. It's legit, right? It's you can read it. So yeah, this was with the light blue or Sue Storm paint pen. What I dig about this book is a double cover. This book came out in August of '66. Yeah, August of 1966. So double cover. First cover, which is the cover you see. The first cover you see. It's got the spine ticks and presents well. The first cover they give it a grade of a 5.5, but the interior cover is an 8.0. So obviously, when it's a double cover, they'll always take the high grade of the covers, and that'll be your final grade on a double cover. And then, of course, usually the part of that double cover, the interior, is the one that's going to will be a nicer shape because it's not exposed. That's kind of maybe common sense, but I know anything can happen with double covers. I was trying to show it because possibly you can see right there the extra set of checkerboards off to the side. The back cover you can't really see how it's double cover, but really stoked with this one. Real nice book. Again, great meeting Joe Gila. Alright, now onto the stack of books from East Coast Comic Con of 2019 that I handed into Desert Wind, and Desert Wind just got the signings for me, so I never, I physically didn't hand these books to the artist to get autographed. So again, these ones I submitted into them, and they did the autographs for me, and I thought, after looking at it, hey, great job, great placement. So I'm really kind of stoked about that. This Nova number 1, origin and first appearance of Richard Rider, and first appearance of Ginger J. Excuse me. I got this signed by Marv Wolfman back in 2017, and that's another gentleman that was supposed to be at East Coast Comic Con, but he had a health issue or something happened to him, and I believe he recovered since then. But Marv was supposed to be there, so that was another big draw for East Coast. And so really stoked to have gotten signed by Marv previously, but this time I wanted to add Joe Sinnott because it's actually a Joe Sinnott cover. And Desert Wind got the Joe Sinnott autograph right down there in black. Really stoked with that. The grade, this comic book, it's probably the third time I had to crack it open, and so my grade has just been fluctuating. Like last time it was a 9.2, then it went to a 9.0. It started out as a 9.0 originally, blue label, and then when I got Marv Wolfman on it, came back a 9.2. Then I crack it open again. This time I had Joe Sinnott, came back a 9.0. So I'm not even I haven't even looked at it for a press and clean, and I'm not even tripping on that. So To me, it's just fine the way it is. But thanks to Desert Wind for that one. And it took some time to get my books back, but I'm stoked about that. These are books because, again, the George Perez stuff was crazy that I didn't get any Perez. I just handed my books off to Desert Wind, and they got Perez for me. Whether it was at the East Coast Comic Con or another convention he'd gone to, and I can get into that later. Other cons he had gone to, they got it signed for me. So George Perez, really stoked. Its first appearance at Deathlock, and it's actually George Perez's first work for Marvel. Last 2 pages. But so you got a nice George Perez signature right there, and it came back 7.5 white pages. Happy with that one. You know what? How could I show this? All right, let me take that one down. Let me get into this one. Again, really happy with this one. I'm happy with all of them pretty much. I don't trip too much anymore. At least you get older, you mellow out. Hopefully, that's the goal. Fantastic Four 46, but Senate in silver. Man, that's awesome placement, awesome color choice. Doesn't take, for me, it doesn't take away from the cover. 6-0 off white to white pages. Yeah, it's first full appearance of Black Bolt in the Humans. Inhumans and Dragon Man appearance, but in its first Black Bolt cover. Inhumans appeared, in earlier issues of FF. I don't know what the number is. Like, I don't know if it's 40 something or 58 or whatever. I kind of know what the cover looks like, but don't know the number. But that one's the first, Black Bolt and first cover for Black Bolt. So happy with that one. Then I'm gonna get it right into FF 50. Again, this one came back 6.5 off white to white pages. Silver Surfer battles Galactus. First appearance of Wyatt Wingfoot. Yeah, like that. Just got it for the cover and try to get the best type of cover. These darker ones, and this is a brown, and hopefully my lighting in here, I guess, is not great end of the day. It's a brown cover, and it's got, you see the spine ticks, but overall it presents really well in my opinion. I was really happy with it and happy with the price and the centering of it all. How it's nice and centered. Little bit of roll, or a little bit of miswrap, but other than that, it presents. Oh, that's the side. It's not a chip. It's hard to tell. Way down in the corner. Either way, 6.5. Just sent it on the surfboard in black. Great job by the folks at Desert Wind. And the last book. This one was, I think this gentleman was only going to be there on Sunday, and I was only there Friday, Saturday, so I didn't have the opportunity to meet Larry Lieber, Stan Lee's brother. But Larry Lieber's involved. He's a co-creator of Iron Man, Thor, to name a few, and I'm sure there's many more, or there's a few more, or whatever. But the ones I was familiar with was Iron Man and Thor. So I have this Iron Man book, and it was already signed by Stan Lee. I thought, man, let me get Larry Lieber on this bad boy. And Desert Wind took care of me, man. They did a fantastic job. I had the signature window already, cut out. Had my boards prepped. All they had to do was crack this book open, slip it in, and then this area was exposed, and I asked for Larry Lieber in gold. And so there I go. And it stayed the same grade. I went for a press and clean. Figured why not, but that's fine. It stayed the same grade. 4.5 white pages. I got that nice Iron Man label. I guess that no longer exists because they switched out their Marvel labels that you can get. But really happy with that book. I'm really stoked to own it. And that's pretty much it for East Coast Comic Con of 2019 with my slabs. Might be missing a few, and if I come across them, I'll just throw them in a video, and I'll probably do a quick mention. But thanks to all the folks who still hang around. They're still subbed to me. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just with everything that was going on, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't really trying to stay safe, keep my family safe to the best of my abilities, and making sure folks around me were doing good and everyone was doing good. and going to work, and this is just a vacation week for me. But I'm getting ready to head back to work here shortly, and thought I wasn't really doing too much today. Why not try to shoot a video and see how it goes? So appreciate everyone. Thanks to everyone out there. I just want to say, I hope everyone takes care out there. Take care of yourselves and take care of your family, even after all this is passing. Because now I think, we're on the, I like to believe we're on the down curve of this coronavirus situation. But again, just stay safe out there and try not to take anything for granted. Later.